I was brought up in taffeta dresses and taught to be pretty and precious, spending my playtime with plastic princesses who all had those bodies just utterly ludicrous. Minuscule waist and huge boobs, and it's all nippleless and no pubes and no creases. I mean, Jesus is pretty confusing, especially at 6. In that fairy tale world, all the girls end up happily ever after, wooing their knights in shining armor. But some nights on the track, you can bet they'll be trapped, spending nights in shining armor. While their knights spend their nights at a bar or a ball with some harlot. I'm not bitter, I'm just saying I don't want to fall for all that romantic bullshit now that I'm older. Although I don't mind the thought of being tossed over a shoulder and trotted off to a mansion by some ruggedly handsome man in a fireman helmet and have him just use me for sex. As I said, it's a little complex. One day, someday, my prince may come, but it doesn't seem likely. And even if he came and he liked me, it's likely he'd be not quite my type. One day, they say he'll come riding up on the back of a horse. But of course, I'm allergic to horses. How do I tell him? He'll just have to sell him. I went to school with a girl. I remember her well. She was pretty smart and pretty as hell. She worked on a farm, but she wouldn't stay, of course. She wanted Prince Charming, so she went to LA, of course. Managed to seduce some famous actor or producer. Shacked up in the house in the hills with a cat and a juicer and a fancy car and a tennis course. But the guy wasn't quite the cat she thought she caught. He treats her like trash, and then you know the drill. Takes his cat in his cash and finds some younger girl, so she's left with this stupid Corvette and an empty swimming pool which she fills with regret. Smart girl, but kinda dumb. And I'd rather be lonely than sit on my fanny waiting for my prince to come. One day, someday, he'll come sweeping in and sweep me off my feet. Then spend the next 4 decades wanting to cheat on me, getting less handsome and fighting his dragons. What the hell is a dragon? Anyway, my perfect man, he'd know what to wear. He'd have a full head of hair, and his eyes would be brown, blue, green, well, I don't care. And his body would be toned with those pecs like you get from the gym. But he won't spend all his time at the gym, and he'd love reading books. He'd be an excellent cook. He'll be good looking, but not too aware of his looks. He'd be tender but tough, and smart but not smug, and attentive but not fawning. And he'd smell good in the morning, and he'd dance. And like hiking and baking and biking, I'm not picky. I just ask that he likes me and I like him. And I'd rather be alone if the only other option is to come and settle down with some condescending clown with a great rating from some dating service, some self-professing Mr. Perfect, another narcissistic legend, I made $1 million in a hedge fund, another sexually ineffectual, self-obsessing metrosexual, pseudo-intellectual, getting drunk and existential every time the Knicks lose a game. Thanks, but perhaps some other day. Never. One day, someday, my prince may come, but I won't hold my breath. There's only divorcees and weirdos left. And weird is fine, but not all the time. One day, someday, my prince will come. So the fairy tale said, 30 years later, it's still in my head that if I screw a frog, I will wake in a 4-poster bed. And that's where we are in therapy. Frogs, alpha males, and how many cats does it take to become a cat lady?